This is a classic example where government did not adhere to its first responsibility to protect its people and their property. And they made stupid decisions that anybody with common sense would have made different decisions. 180,000 people have been evacuated from their homes. This fire in Los Angeles is worse, causing more damage than the Northridge earthquake. This is worse than the San Francisco fire, worse than the Chicago fire, worse than the fire in Maui. God knows officials in California and in the city and county of Los Angeles, they knew there was this threat. How is it that the state of California officials, right up to Governor Newsom, and the officials of the city and county of Los Angeles did not plan for wildfires when they are so common in California, and when everyone was telling them that the weather conditions were perfect for wildfires? The mayor of Los Angeles wasn't even in the country. She was in Ghana. When they interviewed her about the fires, she was speechless. She had nothing to say. And now she comes back and they interview her, and she has nothing to say about why she cut $17 million from the firefighters' budget. She has nothing to say why the city of Los Angeles transferred all of its surplus firefighting equipment to the Ukraine and to Eastern Europe. Now, I love the Ukraine and Eastern Europe. I want to help them. But when you are under threat of wildfires, you don't transfer your surplus firefighting equipment to Europe. I mean, this is dumber than a bag of rocks. How in the world can the people of California put up with this kind of incompetence at the state, county, and city level? When are the people of California going to wake up and get rid of these bird brain politicians and start hiring people who have real qualifications, who will run the state based on common sense? Welcome, patriots, to this episode of Common Sense for America. I'm Bruce Rutherford. I'm your host and commentator, and we're coming to you from the Westwood Golf Club in Houston, Texas. There have been many, many important events of the last week. The most devastating is the terrible fire that's taking place in the city of Los Angeles and Los Angeles County. My wife and I raised our children in San Marino, California, next door to Pasadena. My first wife, my current wife, both my children, we have many friends and acquaintances in that part of Los Angeles and in Altadena and other places. My ex-wife, who is like a sister to me now, somebody knocked on her door at 7 o'clock Tuesday night and said, "You've got to get out, you've got to get out." All she could do was grab her box of documents, no clothes, and she left, and the flames were in her rear view mirror, her house gone. 180,000 people. Now again, I take you back. Government's number one responsibility is to protect its people and protect their property. Has California, the city and county of Los Angeles, done that? Look, I don't pretend to claim that this fire could have been completely avoided. It's certainly an act of God. I don't know how the fire started in the first place, or the first fire that led to other fires. I don't know how those started in the first place. But I will contend that the severity of this fire and the scope of this fire is very much a function of incompetence at the state level and at the level of the city and county of Los Angeles. We all know that California is prone to wildfires. And going back to 2017, then presidential candidate Trump highlighted the fact that California did not have an adequate plan to clear the dead, dry brush from its forests, and that dead, dry brush is the tinder for a wildfire. And he made the point that California should have a forest management program that eliminates that threat. Another issue in California is water. Water's been an issue for California since the 49ers went there to mine for gold. Northern California has always had abundant water supplies, and Southern California is naturally a desert. And so an engineer named Mulholland built an aqueduct system to bring water from Northern California to Southern California, and that's what allowed Southern California to continue to grow. Now, under the Democrats, and particularly under Governor Newsom, they have taken down 3 or 4 dams that are critical to storing water for the state of California in order to provide a smooth habitat for a little fish called a smelt. I mean, give me a break. How many of us even know about smelt? So we've destroyed dams and reservoirs in favor of a tiny little fish that nobody cares about. And he says, well, we wanted to create salmon runs to restore all the natural salmon to the rivers. Well, you do that by building salmon ladders, you dummy. You don't destroy the dam. And he's running Northern California snow and rain runoff into the Pacific Ocean rather than into the aqueduct system down into Southern California. And so Southern California has been deprived of water. And it got to the point where these fire hydrants in these neighborhoods had no water supply. I mean, that is now a fact. Now, my wife says that they picked the wrong city to devastate because there are so many well-known Hollywood types and very, very high-level business people there who have lost their homes, and they're going to hire the meanest junkyard dog attorneys they can find, and they're going to sue everybody that they can sue. And so her comment to me is the state of California, the city and county of Los Angeles have really stepped in at this time. The wealthy Hollywood types and wealthy business people that we all think of, although they are a small percentage, they will lead the attack on the city, county government, and the state government for their failures. I'm going to close by saying I hope the people of California wake up and vote for better leadership the next time.